Hi and welcome back to week 3 of my final major project. So this week has very much been very productive and potentially very creative into the idea for my final major project. It consisted of the research into the print campaign for a music festival which you'd have to sort of design yourself. So what I did was have a look into the different methods of how they promote them and what makes them so successful in gaining sort of clients basically. And there were different things like security and signage and the acts that they use, because obviously different festivals have different style genre music, and also had a look at the top 10 and what made them popular as well. The next step for me for week 3 was to create 3 generic ideas for each of the categories. So I had to create a rough idea for a short film, a rough idea for a narrative music video, and sort of an idea for the print campaign for my own festival as well. So basically what I wanted it to be and how I would promote that as well, sort of using flyers and posters and things like that. This was particularly difficult for me as it was very time consuming and I spent way too much time creating a generic idea when I could have moved on and created my pitch for my final idea. So I tend to put in quite a lot of detail when I look into things and when I'm designing something. So for me this is a fault as well as sort of like a good thing as well. As I put in too much detail in sort of like a small generic idea when I could be putting more time and effort into creating my pitch for my final idea and hoping that it will get confirmed. So when designing the 3 ideas, it also helped me pinpoint the advantages and disadvantages to each of them, and it allowed me to make up my mind on which one I wanted to take on and develop further for my project. Which is also be revealed in the pitch, so stay tuned. When designing the 3 ideas, it also helped me to pinpoint the advantages and disadvantages for each of them, which also allowed me to make up my mind for which one I wanted to take on and develop further for my project, which is all to be revealed in the pitch, so stay tuned for that. But a huge disadvantage for me is due to personal reasons. I do actually miss quite a lot of college. And that could be just whether it's catching up with work or college lectures, which for me I feel like I am falling behind, but when I get to have one-on-one time with my lecturers, they do reassure me that I am not being left behind, which is a relief. However, I do try and put in as much time and effort I can and as much detail as I can as soon as I get home. It's straight to the college work, straight to the books. And this, for me, has been the biggest issue I've faced throughout the past 3 weeks. And although I do miss a lot of hours at college, I am able to catch up pretty quickly in my own time. And I believe my sketchbook is a great example of this and a great reflection of the time and effort that I do put into my work, and it does reflect the dedication that I have to my college work and this project especially. And hopefully my sketchbook is a good reflection of the amount of detail that I am able to put into work, so I'll be able to use that in the future when I go to university and for any other future tasks as well. As well as this, I've also been completing the daily forms that I set as a task for myself last week. It has actually been a really useful thing that I've set myself, so I've been able to look back at what I've been doing each day, and it's helped me reflect sort of what I'm not so great at, what I am good at, and how I can improve on that the next day, or whether that's the next week that I need to improve on it. And yeah, it just helps me understand more about my strengths and weaknesses of that particular day and going forth and how I can change that. So if I were to set myself a target today for next week, it would be to take control of my time management, which I have found is actually a really big deal for me. So I spend quite a lot of time on one task, which means I don't leave myself enough time to complete the next task within a set deadline. So my my next weekly tip for self-improvement is to create a time management sheet consisting of mini deadlines for myself, just to make sure that I've completed any outstanding tasks and get started on the next one, so I can actually achieve the set deadlines from our course leaders. And this will just help me in the future when I'm going on to creating my pre-production and actually creating my final project. So yeah, I'm basically just helping my future self when setting these tasks. Hopefully will encourage me to be more productive and allow myself enough time to achieve that part of the assessment. Apart from that, that's been about it for this week. So thank you for watching week 3 and stay tuned for my pitch next week and week 4. So thank you very much.